Everybody, Buck 2013, just getting out doing a little exercising today. About 7 degrees out, but the wind's not blowing, so it's not too bad. We've been going through quite the Arctic blast this last few days, and for the next 2 weeks here in northern Missouri. It's supposed to only get up to like 5-6 degrees throughout the week this week. Not much going on for me, unfortunately. Where I work in the wintertime, we can't haul rock, at least not well. It has to be above freezing anyway to at least haul rock and dump it. You can't spread it. But when it gets this cold, you just can't do anything. And the past few years, I've been able to go in and do things, in the office, but they've got so many people there now, it's just, I can't be around, or they can't have me around. We usually work about 1 day a week here in the wintertime. Part-time, be lucky to get 15 hours a week, which honestly is enough for me to get by, but I'm going to have to find a different job one of these days. But what's been holding me back mostly is the problems with my eyes. I got double cataracts and floaters in one eye that really bother me more than the cataracts. Just look like little worms and little black dots everywhere. But I've been dealing with it for the past 3 months anyway, for the floaters, and the last year the cataracts. So I'm slowly just kind of dealing with it. The big thing was going to the doctor and getting all this stuff confirmed, seeing if I need to get them removed. And I guess the verdict is not until you just flat out can't see, or if you don't feel safe driving, then we can try to take out those cataracts. But you're pretty young, and they thought my vision was still about 20/40 in the eye that bothers me the most, and 30/40 in the other, which is still good enough to drive. So they said, honestly, they didn't think I should get them removed. So I guess I'm not going to get them removed. I'm just going to keep going back every 6 months, try to adjust my script some, which my doctor here locally, I had to go further away from where I live to see about surgery, but my local doctor actually tweaked my prescription about 2 weeks ago. My glasses should be getting in this week, and hopefully that brings that other eye back up to maybe 30/40 vision, so I think I really think that what's been bothering me the last 6 months is mainly those floaters. And basically it's floaters are just a little black or wormy looking things that are in your vision. Whenever you move your eye one way or the other, it moves with them. It's really annoying, and they can get big and be a real problem, get in the way. Luckily mine's just a small dot. It looks like I have a little gnat in front of me all the time, and I wear these sunglasses all the time, even when the sunshine isn't out. I mean, that's what really sets them off. The sunlight makes them stand out really badly. But like I said, that's what I've been dealing with the past 6 months, really a year. I know I've been having problems with my eyes. It affects my driving. My dad and I continue to work together. I know it's technically my job, and my dad's retired. He's actually disabled because of everything he's been through. But I want to find another job one of these days so he can just, officially retire. I know I depend on him a lot, but it kind of works both ways, because he keeps telling me that he wants to keep doing this, because if he didn't have anything to do himself, his health would go down quick. And that's kind of my mom's sentiment too. I told her, it's like, well, even if I go get a job that I can do completely independently on my own, we can still make sure Dad has plenty to do. He can come out here on the farm and do stuff out here whenever I'm working, and spend time with me whenever I'm not working, and we'll always have something to do. But I'm just worried it's getting to be too much, him riding in that truck with me all day long. 8 hours a day is just too much on him. And like I said, the past year, my back, not necessarily my back, but my eyes, my back too, it kind of bothers me too. Riding long periods of time, it starts hurting my back. But my eyes bother me so bad at some points. We split the paycheck, and that's how we've been doing it. But I do want to get a different job one of these days. I hate to do that. People we work for, I really like working for them. Maybe if my eyesight gets to improving, I could do things on my own a little bit better, but unfortunately, it's just how it's been. Besides that, just not having a whole lot to do, even when the weather's not has been as crappy as it has been. Just, you know, we're lucky we work 2 days a week even. And honestly, I'm okay with that. You know, I got to make a minimum to pay my bills, and I am very fortunate to have YouTube here. I get a small income off of YouTube, which kind of helps things out. As long as I can pay my bills and not rely on any help from anyone, then I'm good to go. But I'm definitely going to be looking at something that I can do on my own in the future. I'd like to lose some weight so I could actually do a lot of the things a lot of other people take for granted, like being able to stand up a long period of time, which is about 80% of any job you find. You know, that's something you got to do. But we're getting by. I was blading the driveway out here lately, as y'all can see. We've been getting a lot of snow, and this really isn't a lot of snow. Fortunately, a lot of it melted in between time. The first big snow we got was like first of the year, ironically. And then it melted a lot. We had a lot of ice before it, so there's a lot of ice underneath this snow. And we just kept getting a bunch of individual, you know, 3 inches here, 2 inches here, 3 inches there. I used the little Massey Ferguson 50, which I have parked in the chicken shed down there. Keep it out of the snow. I use it to blade out the driveway. I got my 4-wheel drive Explorer so I can get in and out easily. It was a real challenge before I had a 4-wheel drive out here, because this gravel road that you have to come off the old state blacktop to get to my house, it gets pretty slick in the wintertime, and if you don't get a run for these hills once you slick, you're in trouble. And when it's pure ice, you're just out of luck. You're better off not going anywhere. I don't think anyone's been working today, though, ironically, because like I said, we're kind of in an Arctic freeze. The next 2 weeks, the highest it's going to get is maybe 10 degrees. And that's without wind blowing. So the wind chills have been well below zero here lately. I know I've been going through my propane like crazy. I was actually coming out here today. I was going to take the battery out of the 70 here. There's no reason to leave the battery in it in this cold. I'll bring it in the garage, let it warm up a little bit, then I might bring it in the house and charge it. I just bought a new battery for my lawnmower, because I wanted to get that lawnmower fired up, because I didn't want it to sit around all winter and not run it. And I did. I got the new battery in it, worked fine, but as soon as these temperatures dropped down like they did, the battery's flat. So I brought it in, it's in the house. I let it warm up last night, now I'm charging it. And since I don't really intend to start the old 70 up any when it's this cold, it's just hard on it, I think I might get this battery out of it, at least bring it inside. I wouldn't have to charge it, because they're pretty good batteries. I had it started right before this cold spell hit, but I kind of figure on getting it, just bringing it inside. I don't know about the 2010 though. As you can see, we don't have the hood back on it yet. We got to get a new manifold pipe here, custom made, because I had to cut it off at the bottom where it was rusting off. And this is a makeshift thing. Whoever owned it before us made it. It's not very good, because, you know, the threaded part, it used to be a threaded pipe, but the threads are gone. So they cobbled together what you see there. But it's not tall enough to get the hood back on it. So we are just waiting to get that done, then we can get the hood put back on. The battery under here is a little harder to get to, which get to it from the other side better. I might take it out. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. Like I said, I had it started up too right before it got really, really cold. And it did all right, I'm sure, because the battery was up. You just don't want to let a battery that's dead or close to being dead left out in the cold. That'll ruin a battery quick, or they could even bust, especially small batteries. Yeah, there's the battery. I could get to that easy enough, but I think I'll leave it alone. I am going to take the one out of the 70 though, because it's easy to get to. Of course, my car, it's been sitting here, the old Crown Vic. It's been sitting here for a couple months. And then the first month it was sitting over there in the yard. The battery in it, the last 3 years I've owned it, it always goes down in the winter. I keep thinking I'm going to need to get a new battery. But every time spring gets here, I put it on the charger and it charges up and it starts. And it stays charged up, so I'm going to give it one more try this spring. I charged it up when I parked it over here. but it is deader than a doornail again. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to get another battery. Probably. But that's no big toot, because I ain't driving that thing when it's slicker than snot. That thing handles terribly in the snow. Get my homemade seat taken off here. We got to get a new board and new seat cushion for this tractor, but I just don't have the money for it. So we get by with what we can get by with. All right, got that out. I may not be able to pick this up with one hand. Give me just a sec. Okay, gotta take my glove off every time to start this camera. Got the battery here. It's a heavy sucker. There's Lucky. What you doing, buddy? You've been enjoying being inside during this cold weather, haven't you? He loves to come outside, but I can't have him out here when I'm blading, because he just barks at me, and it irritates the living crap out of me. I'm just going to bring this battery in the garage for now. I brought my charger inside last night to charge my lawnmower battery, because I wanted to keep an eye on it. I'm paranoid like that. And with my Explorer in the way, I can't just open the door and look out here. So I got it inside charging. I'll show it off here in a minute. But I'll just leave that here. I don't want to hook it up to the charge right away anyway, because it's been outside. It's very cold. It needs to warm up a little bit. And really, probably wouldn't have to charge it anyway, but I'm going to throw it on the charger, charge it up, and then just put it back out here later on. All right, Lucky, let's go in. You want to go in? Sat down here. Fat Boy's got to get his breath. Speaking of Fat Boy, we got an update on my health. Of course, I talked about that a little bit earlier in the video. My eye problems and whatnot, but as for the weight loss, I know some of you who followed me know that I've tried hard in the past to lose weight. It's been about 2.5 years since I weighed my heaviest at 435 pounds. But in 1 month's time, with help of a medication that I'm no longer on, because it wasn't doing any good deeds for my mental health, but it made me it like rewired my desire to eat. Like I had no desire to eat. Soda actually tasted bad. I kid you not, in 1 month's time, I was down to 390 pounds. So I wish I could do that again. But since then, obviously I've had a lot of mental issues, a lot of different things go through my mind. I gained quite a bit of that weight back in that time. But I've never gotten back up to 435. I just weighed myself this morning, because I don't weigh myself very often. I was expecting, something disappointing, but I actually weighed in at 414.6 pounds, which, is not good since I made it down to 390 once. I've obviously went back up since then, but the last time I weighed myself, I was back up to 425. And that was kind of a wake-up call for me then. I'm like, I have got to get my crap together, If I just stick to a good diet, I do enough walking around when I work. Whenever I go to work, I can move fairly well considering how bad my back hurts. I could lose that weight again very easily. And ever since that slump, which has probably been 2-3 months back, I have been trying to watch, what I eat when I get a craving for something. It's easy for me to just get up and go grab something to eat, even though I'm not hungry. But, it's just some people, that's their coping mechanism. They just want to eat and makes them feel good. But I've been really able to stop myself. And, it's like, you don't need that bologna sandwich at midnight. You just think you're hungry. If I was really, really just absolutely having to have something at that time of night, craving it, I thought, there's popcorn on that shelf. Go pop a bag of popcorn. Popcorn does not have any calories, and it's actually a pretty good snack to me. I mean, it's actually satisfying. So I've done things like that. And 9 times out of 10, when I wake up with a craving, I just tell myself, nope, we're not going to eat anything. You don't need anything. You just had supper at 6, 7 o'clock. You don't need anything else. So I'll get a sip of water and go back to sleep. The last 2 weeks, I've cut soda out completely. And that was another thing I did when I lost that weight 2 years ago. I didn't drink any soda, which was weird because that medicine made everything taste really, really weird. I don't know why, but soda tasted terrible and I couldn't drink it and I didn't have a desire to drink it, and that was great. all I drank was water. But the last 2 weeks, more like a week, I've been off soda because I ran out here at home, so I just haven't been drinking it. And I do have some here now, unfortunately, because my mom was here. It is diet, and that's what I was going to say. I cut out straight soda 2 weeks ago. I said, no more straight soda. If I'm going to drink a soda, it's going to be a diet, and it's only going to be like one. And that's what I did the last week and a half. And I ran out. For a week, I was without soda completely, and the craving was there, but I just didn't have it, so I didn't drink it. My mom brought some out, because when my dad comes out, he likes to drink soda. He's just as bad as I am, and it's really bad for him because he's a stage 4 diabetic. But he does drink just diet soda, but it still doesn't matter. It'll still affect his blood sugar. But I've been avoiding the soda pretty good the last couple weeks, and that might have something to do with this weight loss. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't at 425 6 months ago, and I haven't lost really any weight. Maybe I lost it when I wasn't keeping track. But it is comforting to know, I'm not at 435. I look at myself every day. I tap this big gut of mine and my man boobs, and it's like, I must be gaining weight, the way I feel, the way I look. But I haven't been. I don't know what's going on there, but I need to keep it up. I just took down my Christmas town. I'll show you guys that here in a little bit. And that's where I usually keep my exercise bike. And I'm going to start using that a lot more. Just over there where the Ford pickup's parked. And I know a lot of you wanted to see an update on that pickup we got for basically free. I got my weight bench in there. We only have 100-pound weights for it. But I think that would be a great starting point. And honestly, since I don't work out much, haven't worked out much in a long time, I probably need to start a little lower, do smaller, weight sets and, do more of them until I'm used to doing 100 pounds, benching 100 pounds. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I'm going to start making more videos as I make more progress. Maybe not every week. I know I don't really upload a whole lot anyway. It's usually every month that you guys see a new video. I'd really like to get back into the program and making YouTube videos here. Of course, this video you're watching now, this is one that's probably going to be like 40 minutes long, but that's okay because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. And those of you who want to stick around to watch it, that's great. I really appreciate that. I know it's kind of disorganized, but other videos I make, they are usually, whatever they're titled, that's what it's going to stick to. But I like to make videos like this one occasionally, which I'll put a warning up at the beginning that this is going to be a long, and it's just a random rambly vlog. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of giving you guys an update on what's going on. But I'm kind of getting that motivation back. And I know a lot of people do that at the beginning of every year. But, this last 6 months has been a real downer for me. I don't know what went wrong exactly. But I think it was the medication changes. Several years back, my original doctor left, so I had to go to a different doctor, and he didn't have the exact idea of what to do with managing, my bipolar and depression and anxiety. And he got me on the wrong medication and wasn't doing the right trick. So I actually had to go to a psychologist who, is specialized in that kind of medicine. And we were basically experimenting for about 3 months. And one of the medications he put me on did something to me, and it was terrible. Like, I was having flashbacks to my childhood of being terrified of the wind. Like, it would get really windy out, and I was just terrified. I could not explain it. I could not reason with it. I mean, whenever I was a kid, I think it was one of my mom's brothers. When I was like 3 years old, it was really windy out one day, and he just started yelling at us, "Get inside before the wind blows you away." Well, to a 3-year-old, you believe everything what an adult tells you, and I guess that had an impact on me because all the way up until my early teens, I had a fear of the wind. And I've always kind of still got that in the back of my mind, like it left an impact on me. But whenever I switched over this medicine 6 months ago, it came back like out of nowhere, and it just terrified me. I actually quit working for about a month because I was trying to get this medication under control. My dad stayed out here with me that entire time, keeping an eye on me because I was having depression. I was having anxiety, more anxiety than depression, but we got things straightened out. We got me off that medication. The worst part of it was basically like a detox period. I was coming off, I was withdrawing on my old medication, and I don't think there was enough time there for the old medication to get out of my system. We started that new one. It obviously didn't work because it's just terrible, but everything's going a lot better now. The only real problems I'm having is my eyesight, and that's what really bothers me the most because I love to drive. I've always been someone who loves to just go out and cruise around and drive. But now, like I hate coming outside because if it's sunny out, those black dots are just so big and clear. I mean, they're not big where they block my vision, but they're there. And it gives you a headache after a while, maybe 10, 15 minutes of looking at it, and it just drives you nuts. But I've been dealing with it for 3 or 4 months now, and I'm getting used to it. I'm kind of coming to terms and accepting it, and I also feel better now that I've went to see the eye doctor finally with COVID going on. That was keeping it pushed back from me actually getting to go see the doctor, and I finally got to go see a doctor and a surgeon about it, and they kind of reassured me, this is something that a lot of people go through, and believe it or not, those little specks, they will kind of just go away. Your brain will learn not to see them. But there are some rare situations where they don't go away, and then there are some kinds of treatment they can do to try to get rid of them, but only if there's like a bunch of them. So just comforting to know that, and I'm getting used to it. It sucks. It is something you got to learn to deal with because it worried me when I was driving. This little speck would come out into my field of vision out of nowhere, and I think, oh my God, there's a car, but it's not a car. It's a little speck. Yeah, it's really annoying. It's another reason why I want to kind of get away from where I'm working now, a driving job. I'd rather go do something that involves me working in a building or something, not driving. I can still drive a car. I can drive a car, no problem, stay focused. But driving big trucks is just not really in it. I'm not really in it anymore. I'm kind of doing it now just because that's all we've got to do. With COVID going on, it's not a real good time to get a different job. But yeah, I'm ready to branch out and do something else. And I really just don't want my dad to feel like he has to keep working because the way we do this, he's with me every single day.
Ducky Ducky, what are you doing, buddy? I think you're ready to go in, aren't you? Aren't you? You like it out here. You don't want to go in. You fool me all the time. Another thing I want to talk about too, guys. You all know that I've used a GoPro. That's what I use actually a lot of the time to film my stuff. When I bladed this driveway out 3 days ago, I believe now, 2 or 3 days ago. I think it was 3. I've actually bladed it twice, so it was 3 days ago. I had my GoPro mounted on a clip on the back of the tractor because I wanted to get a good shot of me blading. And I was just going to move it around and get different shots and stuff. Well, somewhere out right around in here and between here and all the way down the driveway, it fell off. And I don't think it would have got run over and mashed into the ground because I would have seen it where there's no snow or the snow's been bladed off. I think it got pushed over into the drifts onto the left side of the road where I was pushing. And I looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't find it. So I'm hoping, because I've heard people say, they've lost their GoPros and they've been left out for a year and they find them and they still work. I don't think that'll be the case with mine because mine didn't have the case on it. If you put the waterproof case on it, it actually muffles all the sound out on the recording. So I never did use the case. So it's probably ruined, but it's kind of a blow for me because that was a $100 camera. And it was really nice to have because I could mount it on my head, I could mount it on the dash, I could mount it on the window, I could mount it in different places. And apparently where I mounted it this time was a stupid place because it fell off and I didn't realize it. And it's now lost in the snow. So it's kind of unfortunate. I shouldn't have done that. Apparently there is a way that you can turn a Wi-Fi on them. And if you do lose them, you can use your phone to set off a beeper so you can hear it beeping if you go to look for it. I didn't know about that. I should have done that. But I just lost a $100 piece of equipment. And in today's day and age where I'm working only 10 to 15 hours a week, just barely getting by, it's just kind of unfortunate. It's gone. I can't afford to buy a $100 camera. I mean, Dokie, we're back in where it's nice and cozy. Ain't that right, Wigglebutt? That's my baby Wigglebutt. That's my baby girl Cash's baby, one of 11 puppies she had in 2019. Here's Cashy. They don't even look the same, do you? Not the same color, but you could tell you guys are related. Yeah. Are you shy? Do you not like the camera? Anyway, I got the battery charger over here. Like I said, I wanted to bring it inside so I can keep an eye on it since I can't see through my Explorer. Green light's on, so that means it's charged. So I'm probably just going to leave this battery in here the rest of the winter. It's small. It doesn't take up much space. My Christmas town was over here, as you all know. My Christmas tree was there where the battery charger is. I got my exercise bike set up. I got the batteries in it. It's amazing. Riding it for about 5 minutes, you actually burn like 50 calories. So it's just something I got to do. I got to really push myself to use it. I would like to bring my weight bench in as soon as the weather clears up enough that I can get it out of the shed and put it over there and put it like long ways like this, and then move the exercise bike over here and just have it pointing like this. That way I can get to work on maybe tightening up, getting rid of burning some of this fat in the chest area, getting some muscle built up, and keep burning them calories. You know, whatever I take in, I got to burn out, and hopefully burn more than I take in. That's how weight loss works. Hopefully I can get it done. I moved my little history shelf. It was over there, now it's over here. It's kind of a bad spot because if I want to put my Christmas tree back up next year, I'll have to move it. But it did need to be moved from over there because when I get up and down off the exercise bike, I risk knocking it over. All these presidents, I've showed them off before, but all the way up to Richard Nixon right here. These were made in the 1960s when Richard Nixon was still president. And Gerald Ford on are remakes because the company, the Marx Toy Company that made them up until Nixon, went out of business a long time ago. But they're so cool, they actually kind of brought them back, private companies on their own. And I was able to buy up to Barack Obama, as remakes. And then, of course, we got Donald Trump here. I'm not going to say how much I spent on it. I was kind of stupid. The guy kind of capitalized on the situation. Apparently, a lot of people collect these. So he was just selling them one at a time on eBay and auctioning them off. I was dumb enough to bid on it. So long story short, they're about $10 now. I spent probably 5 times that, which is very, very stupid. All politics aside, I'm not going to say where I stand with politics. This is history to me. So I didn't buy it because, I admire him or I don't admire him. It's part of it. My favorite president always will be Abraham Lincoln. That's why he's not down there with him. He's up here on top of the Parthenon, and it's kind of cool. This homemade shelf a friend of my mom's made. I'd love to get just a bunch of them and hang them up everywhere in here. But I got some of my my busts up there. You've got George Washington over on the left. You've got Theodore Roosevelt, the Rough Riders on the right. That's actually a Rough Rider in the middle. And there's a beer stein I got when I was in Germany in 2012. A trophy I won at a pedal tractor pull when I was like 6 years old. An old pipe that my grandpa used to smoke, great-grandpa, I think. Just cool things like that. Ooh, wow, look at that. Stocking cap hair. Thank you guys very much for watching my video. My phone died on me, unfortunately, so I lost a little bit of video footage that I recorded, but this video is more than long enough. But like I said, thank you guys very much for watching. Wish me luck. I am going to try my best to watch what I eat and try to get back on to doing a little bit more exercise on the bike besides the exercise I do just every day, like when I'm working. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you later.